right, lesson 7.7. We're going to talk about using slopes and intercepts to graph linear equations. All right, so first of all, things we need to be able to identify are what we call the intercepts. Intercepts are the places where a line crosses the axes. Okay, so here we have our x-axis. The intercept is the place where the line crosses the x-axis. The y-intercept is the place where the line crosses the y-axis. And you'll notice any place where a line touches the y-axis, there will be a 0 in the x-coordinate and then some value for y. So in this particular case, we have 1, 2, 3, 4. So 0, 4. But anywhere on the y-axis, the x-coordinate will be 0. On the x-axis, that will be reversed. The y-coordinate will be a 0. And then there will be some x value. And you'll notice that's what this is stating down here. The y will be 0, so the y-coordinate will be a 0. And that can be helpful down the road, knowing that the y-coordinate will be 0 in an x-intercept. And then this, you got to think of it backwards. And the x-coordinate will be 0 in the y-intercept. So all right, we're going to just go ahead here, and we're going to identify some intercepts. And again, so we are identifying the points where the line crosses the x and y axis. So in this particular case, for A, the x-intercept is a -1. Okay. Now the ordered pair of that would obviously be a -1, 0. And the y-intercept in this case is a +1. And if we needed the ordered pair there, that would be 0, +1. Okay. Again, I'm just putting my dot here where the line crosses the y-axis and x-axis so that we can see it a little better. So the x-intercept in this case, 1, 2, 3, 4, so -4, crosses the x-axis at -4, and crosses the y-axis at -2. So pretty simple. Intercepts are where the line crosses an axis. Okay, now let me click on this, and there we go. Okay, so slope-intercept form of a line, and this is, and I'm giving you the slope-intercept form of any linear equation. All linear equations can be written in this format here, y = mx plus b. And this is something that will be around through your mathematical days for a while. Okay, we have the x-coordinate and the y-coordinate, okay, which usually will be some sort of a variable like x and y. And then we have these two other numbers. M is the slope of the line. So if we know the slope of the line, the number that we did in previous sections, we can take the slope of the line and replace m with it. And then whatever b is, the y-intercept, that number, that value. So back over here, if I go over here, for example, the y-intercept of this line would be a -2. Okay, so my b in this case would be a -2, going back again. And if I were doing the equation of this one, my y-intercept would be a 1. So my b there would be a 1. Okay, so, and usually when we're trying to write an equation, all we're trying to do is find our m, find our b, and replace those values with their given numbers. So we're going to go ahead and, in this particular case, we are going to be given an equation. And we are going to graph this equation using its slope and its y-intercept. Okay, so now what we're going to do first is we're going to identify m, and we're going to identify b. And you'll notice here, 2/3, that is our slope. So our slope, oops, let me use the writing tool. Our slope is 2/3. And I once again messed up. Let me try this a third time. So my m in this case is 2/3. And you have to remember that that is rise over run. And then my b is 1. Okay, so I need to identify those two things. And in this particular case, okay, so my b is 1. Okay, so that's the first thing in our equation, to be able to identify those two values. All right, step number 2, we are going to start by plotting our b. So in this particular case, b, our y-intercept is a 1. So I'm plotting that point, at 1. Okay, we are then going to use m to plot another point. And again, remember, 2/3, That is rise, I just said it a second ago, over run. So we are very literally going to count. This is a positive, so from here we're going to count up two places. It rose 2, and our run is a 3. 1, 2, 3, and we are going to plot another dot. And then if we want another dot, we will rise 1, 2, and then we will run 3 more. And there we go. Again, rise of 2, run of 3. And once we have 2, and we can even go backwards, run of 3, fall of 2 if we're going backwards, and I can have another dot. And once we have that, we will take a straight edge. In my particular case, I will use my line tool, and I will draw my line that goes through those dots and goes in both directions forever, because this is a line, and so it goes on forever. So there we go. Once you have your M and your B, plot your M, use your B, plot your B, and then use your rise-run relationship to find an M. So, all right, so let's go ahead and do this again. All right, find my M and my B. All right, well, B obviously is positive 3. Okay, so that is my B. My M here, and this is one of those things we have to remember, algebraic notation here, is if there is no coefficient given of a variable, it's a 1. So my M in this case, my slope, is a negative 1. Now if I write that as a fraction, that would be negative 1 over 1. Okay, so my rise-run relationship would be a negative 1, 1. So, all right, so I've done step 1, I found M and I found B. All right, step 2, plot B. B is a 3. 1, 2, 3. Crosses the y-axis at 3. All right, awesome, spectacular. From there, again, rise over run. Now in this case, my rise is a negative, which means it actually falls 1, so it goes down 1. My run in this case is a 1. Okay, so I'm going to go down 1 and to the right 1, down 1 and to the right 1, down 1 and to the right 1. If I wanted to go the other way, I would just do it backwards and go to the left 1 and up 1. And you'll notice in this particular case, I'm getting a straight set of, or a line, set of dots that go in a straight pattern, and they go both ways forever. Okay, and that's it. We draw our line through it, and we're all set. That is my line for, actually I probably should have an arrow on the end here, because the arrows tell us that the line goes in both directions forever. But there we go. Now, at this particular point, I'm breaking this up into 2 videos. So this is the end of part 1 for 7.7. And then for the last part of the notes, obviously, you'll start another video. So I'm going to pause right here, and I will see you on the other side.